Hey, welcome to Mark's Garage Channel. Just a retired engineer who loves old trucks, and I'm trying to figure it all out by watching YouTube and working along. This is Missy the Wonder Dog, and I hope you like and subscribe. Okay, get the water pump off, and I want to see what's on. I've never opened this up. I took these two bolts off. This is the valve cover. Let's take a look and see what's going on inside this engine. Oh, just a little bit of rust. Oh, holy cow. Look at that. I'm going to bring the camera over. Holy cow. Look at that. Now, I'm wondering, do I have to take that off? This whole rocker assembly before I remove the head. So it's 1, 2, yeah, I guess I got to take that rocker assembly apart. I'm guessing. That is a lot of rust. Wow. That's something. I guess that head weighs about 90 pounds. Add in the manifolds, which I don't want to remove. They should come off by themselves. All right, let me go see if I'm breaking those loose and moving forward. All right, so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this assembly, the valve rocker assembly, is bolted to the head. There's probably no reason to remove it from the head. I'm just going to take the head off. Unless, you know what? I probably need to get at it to get those bolts off. That's what it is. That's why I can't get those bolts off. I wonder what it's like getting those bolts off. I'm going to try one just to see what it's like. That should be interesting. Bet they're torqued to like 100 pounds. I should look that up. I'll get back to you. Okay, here's what we're waiting to see. How bad are these cylinders? I don't know if that's 6 or 1. I don't know. I'm not that smart. But number 3 there, I think, or 3 or 4, looks really bad. And that one there, number 2, I think, looks awful. None of the oil I put in there is there. I know I sprayed a lot of oil in there. So the question is, how am I going to push these pistons down to get that thing to turn? And I'm hoping I can use these screw holes sort of like a press and just put a nut on each side and work down a piece of bar across it and a piece of wood to push on them pistons. See if I can get them to move. Or I got to turn the crankshaft. That's the bottom line. So I'll keep you posted. I'm going to spray some oil in there for now just because I'm curious, and then I want to show you this because I'm an idiot. First of all, I don't know if you saw it on the time lapse. I should have pulled the push rods out first. But this is the oil or water or whatever's in that air filter. I think it's oil filled. Should have emptied that somehow. It's dripping all over my floor. But here to make mistakes and learn, so keep moving. Okay, got a little crazy. I poured some transmission fluid down the cylinders and was tapping on them, and you know, they're not moving. When I say tapping, I was using that 2-pound sledge and a wooden block, and that crank wouldn't move. So I figured, you know what, let me just jack it up in the air and see what it's going to take to drop the pan. Take a little peek up in there and see what's going on. So, needless to say, that led to one thing, led to another. First thing I did, I popped the oil plug to drain the oil. There was absolutely no oil in there whatsoever, which really didn't surprise me. But now, I'm thinking, what would it hurt, as long as I got it in the air, pop a couple screws off the bottom of the, look at that, even that's rusty. What if I, took off a couple of these screws here off a single piston and just tried to drive that piston straight up, and that'd be one less piston that's stuck, and then maybe get them all moving or down to one. I don't know. I think I'm going to try that just to see what happens. Then I found this serial number here, and I'm curious if that's the serial number that matches my frame. 610-7328. I'm going to go look at that. Or actually I should look on I took my tag off to paint it. Where the heck did I put it? Oh, here it is. Stand by. I'm curious about this. Here's the tag. FC serial number. All right, it's not the same. So the serial number in the block doesn't match the body. That's fine. All right, I'll keep you posted. So here's where I'm at today. I've got a stuck engine. I can't get the bell housing off because the engine's stuck. I dropped some transmission fluid in the cylinders last night or yesterday afternoon. I've dropped the pan. The crank is rusty. I'm thinking maybe I could tip this motor up on end. I don't have a motor stand. And get at the crank. And what do I do with it when I got it there? I'm not sure. All I know is this motor will not spin. And if it don't spin, I can't get the bell housing. I can't get the flywheel, which I need for the donor motor over there. So I think step one today is going to be get it up on end so I can really look at that crank and figure out what to do. Okay, I got the motor tipped up on end, and I popped off the rod end on the, I think it's the number 6 cylinder, the one down there. You can see it all shiny. And I gave it a couple taps with the brass drift, trying to push the piston up. It's not moving. Nothing's moving. I'm kind of at a loss. I got one more thing I want to try to see if I can get this motor to spin. And at this point, it's not trying to make it spin to, it'll never run again. I got to show you. Everything in there is rusted. The camshaft, the crankshaft itself. There's nothing on here that doesn't have rust on it. They must have ran the motor dry, seized it or whatever, and just let it sit. And it's just all rust in there. So I think I'm going to try to press those, make a press of some sort and try to push those pistons down. That's my last resort. And the other thing I thought of is maybe cutting through the crankshaft itself. But I don't think I can get a tool in there that'll cut that hardened metal. But maybe a cutting torch, if I borrow one, I can cut that out. There's a lot of effort to go through for a bell housing and a flywheel that's pretty rusted. So I'd like to see if I can buy a new flywheel and bell housing somewhere. Okay, this is it. This is my last effort, last trick I have up my sleeve to try to get these pistons to move, which would rotate the flywheel so I can get it off. I saw somebody do this on the internet. I'm going to try it. I made these two fixtures, and I got some hardware from Home Depot, and we're going to see what happens. Now, what I guess is going to happen is I'm going to bend these nuts. That's exactly what happened when I tried to take the steering wheel off in an earlier video. I want to drive all these four down evenly at the same time. Now, I looked already. I know these two pistons are on the downstroke, so not fighting each other. Probably should double check that, but I'm pretty sure they're both supposed to be going down. So now I'm crushing this wooden dowel. Whoa, what was that? Oh, just this thing rolling. Hope I'm still in the picture. So nothing feels like it's moving so far, but why am I not surprised? Really haven't put a whole lot of force on it just yet. What I'll do now is switch this over to time lapse because it's going to be at it a while. Yep, just as I predicted, the welds broke on that once you start splitting apart. Piece and weld it in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. Just the welds separated. So I'm guessing this wasn't such a hot idea. I don't know what to do next. Probably have to go search the internet for another bell housing and a new flywheel. Probably the smartest thing to do instead of wasting all this time with this boat anchor. I'll keep you posted.